If you have a parent that completely freaks out when something doesn't go their way or according to their plans, and they always demand to be the center of attention, no matter what other issue could be happening at the same time. Maybe your parents do not show you any emotional care whatsoever, and it's as if you should just be completely grateful that they even created you. Maybe you have a parent that is so involved emotionally that they break your boundaries consistently. Now, we call these types of parents emotionally immature because they are completely unable to cope with things that don't go their way, and for a better word, we can call them toxic. And if any of that resonated with you, you are in the right place at the right time. My name is Anna, and I have 10 signs that you grew up or you are currently growing up with immature parents. Stay tuned. You feel lonely around them. This sign may come as a shock to you because you could feel some form of guilt to even think that. And you don't want to admit that your parents aren't mature with their emotions because you think, well, they did their best. There's no manual there. They clothed you, they fed you, and they were not in any way physically or verbally abusive. However, if deep down you do not feel a connection to them, well, there you go. You may not even think about calling your parents first during your times of stress and anxiety, and instead you choose to go to a friend because you know that deep down your parents will not be able to handle your problems. Most EI parents, emotionally immature parents for short, like to tell their children what to do, but they are anxious about the emotional care side of things. So EI parents can take good care of you when you are sick, but they do not know what to do when you are hurt, if you have a broken heart, or you lose your job. And as a result, it can be completely frustrating and lonely for the child, which is you, because you feel lost and hopeless with your own problems. The interactions you have feel one-sided. Most EI parents are self-absorbed and they have a limited empathy interaction with you, so everything is one-sided. It's as if they are so imprisoned by their own problems and traumas, and when you try to share something important with them about you, they talk over you, they change the subject, they start talking about themselves, or they completely reject whatever it is that you have to say. You as the child will know a lot more about their parental issues than the parents do about their own issues. Although EI parents need your attention when they are upset, they rarely actually offer to listen or empathize with you when you are the one that's upset. So instead of sitting with you and letting you talk out your worries and your problems and stress, the EI parent usually just offers superficial solutions, telling you to not be upset, things will be okay, or not even acknowledging when you are upset, which is even worse. Now, their hearts feel completely closed. And if you are the child right now, you can feel completely lonely. 3, you feel trapped. EI parents insist that you put them and their problems first, and if you say otherwise, then they will act in certain ways for you to feel the shame, guilt, or fear until you just give in because it seems easier to do so. Now, we call this emotional manipulation. Now, the EI parents don't realize this is what they are doing because they are so blinded by their fears. You have to understand, they are acting from survival instincts. Therefore, every problem is as important as being challenged to a fight of life and death with a saber-toothed tiger. They will get so emotionally charged up with their own emotions that they need you immediately to help them for every single situation because everything is so traumatic. Now, because EI parents are superficial and self-centered, they are often kind of boring to talk to. They hold on to the same topics of conversations because they feel confident with this conversation. So it could be they end up repeating the same things over and over. They come first and you are second. They elevate their own interests to the point that yours feel completely downgraded. You may not even wish to share anything about yourself with your parents anymore because you just know they never seem to value whatever it is you have to say. And if a parent is unwilling to give your emotional needs high priority, it can leave you feeling very insecure on the inside. You probably doubt that your parents have your back, and yes, this will lead to you feeling a lot of stress, a heap of anxiety and depression in your general day-to-day life as you grow up. Now, during childhood, you would have learned pretty quickly that you couldn't trust your parents to notice your needs or to protect you from anything that completely overwhelmed you. Therefore, you struggle with these overwhelming feelings in your adult life because it was never resolved as a child. They are not emotionally intimate or vulnerable. Now, yes, EI parents do have feelings and they are very emotional, but deep down, they hide their gooey, sensitive feelings and they become very defensive. And this is the explanation for why so many EI parents come across cold and somewhat aggressive. It's because they are putting up this scary cold front to protect their gooey, emotional center. They even avoid tenderness towards their children because they feel it might make them too vulnerable, and they worry that showing love might undermine their power as parents because power is all they think they actually have. So your parents want you to comfort them, but this is hard because if you do try to comfort them, they will completely push you away at any sign of comforting and go back to their stiff upper-lipped front. They communicate through outbursts. Yes, you can relate to this one if you've gotten this far in the video. EI parents cannot talk about their feelings. They don't know how to. So instead, they try to make you feel the same emotion as them so that you can fully understand them in a way to soothe them. Now, this could be them breaking your boundaries and being super closely involved in your personal life, literally trying to merge with you because they want you to understand how they feel. Now, these EI parents never grew from their childlike, non-verbal communicative state, so they expect you to telepathically just know how they feel. Now, they will not tell you what's going on inside their head, and they will feel hurt and angry and very sad when you haven't picked up on these clues. Now, this sounds pretty crazy, but you could even hear the famous line, "If you really loved me, you would have known." I'm sure you've heard that one. Now, they expect you to be attuned to them, just as how they would have been as a small child to their parent or caregiver. Now, for whatever reason, they have been unable to express their needs since they were a young child, and they still depend on parental-like expectations from those around them because they crave it. EI parents do not understand the point of boundaries, and if they are questioned on their actions, that they broke your boundaries, they will feel rejected and they will feel so upset that you even keep secrets from them. They will feel insulted. They do not see you as an individual. They see you as an extension of their own character and emotions because quite literally, you belong to them. Therefore, you should think, you should speak, and you should feel exactly like them. You do the emotional work in the relationship. You possibly overcompensate your emotions. This could be anything from being extra polite and having conversations with the correct tone and the right topics, just like a parent would do with a teenager. You are literally on eggshells with how you speak and what you do. And if something bad happened, you would be immediately told that you are the one to blame. This is your issue and not mine. And your parents will remove themselves from the problem. You lose your emotional independence. Because the EI parents see you as an extension of themselves, they don't actually think much about your inner world or your inner thoughts and feelings. Now, they are completely unable to realize that you have your own life, your own opinions, and your own thoughts. And if you have ideas or values that do not match theirs, they will become shocked and they will reject you for your choices. They are fun suckers and sadistic. Do they seem to suck the happiness out of everyone? Wow, every conversation is just always brought back to them. If someone celebrates something amazing, that person is quick to ruin the fun because they don't feel happy for others when others are happy. EI parents are known to just relish in the pride of a child accomplishment situation. So they're not actually happy for the child to have achieved something, they just see this as a power trip. They may not even help you to pursue your dreams, and they remind you consistently how boring adult life is and all the negative aspects of anything that you want to do.